Hello friends, welcome to my channel. So before I get started today, I just wanted to say thank you so very much for the love and support you showed me for my last video. I greatly appreciate you and much love to you all. So for today's mani, I'm going to do a whole Irish theme. So for the base color, I've applied LA colors in glass slippers, and then I went over it in a matte top coat. It's kind of still drying on the matte part. Okay, so I was kind of looking up a whole Irish scenery, and I see that they have let me show you the just like I got a group of pictures here. So they have like a lot of mountains, cliffs, greenery, water. The little town is kind of um, like in one section together. So I want to try to bring in a little piece of all of that. So I got a whole thing we're going to be doing. Um, so I know I'm gonna go to Uber Chic's plate, little landscapes, and I think I'm gonna go to this image for the town part, because it's got the little houses plus some trees behind it, so we can pull that greenery in like from that photo. So I'm gonna do that one. So I was thinking of using my straight up black, but I see that some of the little shutters are kind of solid, so I think I'm just gonna go to my favorite Acorn B498 for Maniology. And I realized that when I go like do my like story time nails, I'm gonna call them, they're not really they're not a realistic oop, everyday set, but they're fun. So I hope you still enjoy just to watch them. So I'm having to use my lint roller just to get off some extra pieces. But other than that, it did pick up fine. Also, I'm going to use this for the cliff water section as well. And I'm going to go to this image here. I think I'm going to remove that little, I think it's supposed to be a house, but I don't really like that one there. So I'm just going to take that little piece off. And this polish is getting goopy. So I'm trying to tap it. But I try to use every little piece of, or every little bit of my polish that I can before I move to a new bottle. Kind of need a little bit something tinier here to get this off. Okay. And then lint roller for the bottom part. And there we go. Okay, for the mountain scene, I'm going to go to Manually Juice Plate M531 and grab this mountain area here, which, yes, technically this is like a Christmas plate, but hey, you can use your plates for multiple things when you kind of really look in, each item or image, excuse me. Okay, so to make it look like a more of an Ireland mountain, we're going to go to Maniology's Emerald City B514 for the pickup, and I'm going to be adding some other green uh, into it by reverse stamping it. I'm going to turn it just so I can get the whole part image. Oh my goodness, the whole area picked up. Okay, I'm also going to use this plate for this image right here. Going to use Acorn for that. I don't know what it is with Acorn in particular, but it splatters me every time. I don't know what's happening, friends. but all the time I'm getting them splatters. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I want to make a heel to bring in the Hillary, excuse me, hilly scenery from the Irish picture. So I'm gonna just draw it instead of trying to stamp it, because you can do either or, but I'm just gonna draw it. So I'm gonna use Candy Mayo 961. Also, all my Candy Mayos and all of my color vibes are from Dollar Tree. Some things I remember to repeat, and other things that I end up forgetting because we have new nail friends. So it does not need to be perfect or anything. We're just as long as it kind of looks somewhat like a heel, it'll get better as we go. Don't worry. So I'm gonna first. I'm just you could use the brush, of course, from the polish, but since I already have some polish here, I'm just gonna do this. Okay, so now I also have some of Maybelline's Tropic Talks. That was also from Dollar Tree. And I'm gonna take some a new color 997, also Dollar Tree. I use a lot of those for reverse stamping just because, they're affordable. So I'm gonna just kind of go between each one, and I'm gonna get my crazy brush. I call it crazy brush because look at it. Too a little messed up, but it's perfect for this. So I'm just gonna tap some, and this is how I'm gonna make it look a little bit kind of more realistic-ish. Just kinda until I get it to where I'm like, "Okay, that looks more like greenery, a hill, ground, grass, all the things." It's actually better for it to not look perfect, because that's what will make it look more realistic, and this brush and the tapping motion also gives it some texture, which also makes it more realistic. You just do it until you get it to the way you want. Let's see. See this one little piece right here? So I think I'm gonna leave it like that for now, because you can always add more if you want to later. It's like a haircut. You can always take off, but you can't put back. I know y'all know that feeling. Actually, this would be a good time for me to go ahead and do this one as well, because I'm gonna add some of that, what I'm gonna call olive green. No, I don't wanna, what I need to do, let me get a little bit more polish here. If I go to tapping, I'm gonna peel this up, so we don't wanna do that. So let me grab my other brush back out here, and we'll just paint it on. Now, the nail is probably not gonna fit all this, but because I'm not certain what all is gonna fit, and I'm gonna just go ahead and fill in this entire image. Okay, now I got more of that light brown tone back in it. I'm kind of gonna go a little bit with a mixture is my plan. So it gets a little bit of a different tone as you're coming down the mountain scene. Okay, so let's look at it. Okay, so for the cliff image, I see some green, I see some gray. So I'm going to use the same green I've already used, and then I'm pulling in Maybelline Serene Steel. Now when I start, I have a whole vision, but sometimes I'll decide, oh, I need to add this image or this color or whatever. So sometimes I kind of work as I go and kind of decide how I want things to be. Not really gonna have a rhyme or reason to this. I'm just gonna pull in some of that gray. 'Cause they're kind of like they're like a rock area, but they also have some green. So I'm trying to pull both. Let's see. Just get a little bit more of the green. Okay, for the water, I think I'm gonna mix a bit of Candy Mayo 928. Again, on this specific one, it comes out matte for some reason. It just draws matte. This one, Maybelline Teal for Two. I'm just gonna mix a little bit of each of those for the water because I don't want it light and I don't want it dark, like too dark. So I'm just gonna use my dotting tool end, kind of mix it a bit. And if one section ends up darker than the other, that's fine. That'll just kind of bring in more tones. Also, I think I'm going to end up taking these little dark clouds off. I don't really want them dark. I'd rather just add my own. Okay, and I've also got some more polish because I decided from looking at it up on the nail, I want to bring it down a little bit more according to where I'd like to place it on the nail. Okay, and I'm trying to decide on this little tiny sun. It's a little. Okay, so for the sun, I'm gonna use paparazzi and dandelion fuzz. It's so little, we don't need much. I think I'll just try to use my dotting tool actually. Okay, and then yeah, I am gonna go ahead and take those little clouds off. So I'm just gonna get some tape and remove those real quick, and I'll be back. I tried to use my dotting tool to remove it, but it just was being stubborn. It only like moved it over, it didn't even take it off. So I did go with the tape. Okay, let's look at it. Before I move on, I'm gonna go ahead and place the mountain area, and because I want it to stay matte, I'm just applied some more of the matte top coat I've already used. As long as it gives a little bit of a tacky feel, it works. Um, so I'm just gonna place it, and then for the bottom area, don't worry, we're gonna do something with that as well. So I'm just rolling to get it to go across the entire nail slowly. Okay, so then we'll come back to the bottom of it in a little bit. Okay, excuse me. So for this building, for the windows, I'm going to go to Pure Ash Showstopper. Ooh, sorry, I had to pause and open the door. Okay, so these are tiny, so I'm having to kind of just tap it. They are hard to see. So I'm going to give these a minute to dry before I move on. Okay, for the rest of it, I'm going to Candy Moyo 952. Now that first plate I used from Uber Chic, it had some options on there too, but I figured I'd just use this one. Okay, and this one, I'm changing my placement on a different nail. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna probably end up adding more water, and that's totally fine. So when it does this, all I have to do is I can just add a little bit more of the mat. It'll just kind of make it and put it up under there to make it lay down. Use my stamper. And then this side, you can, because there's just extra, I can just peel it off or tuck it under, whichever. So we don't have to add much more water, but I'll do that in a minute. Okay, so for the town, I'm taking Tropic Talks just for those trees in the background. Okay. All right, so for the roof, let's go back to the gray color I used earlier. So I'm trying to decide if I want to do like a multiple roof color. No, I guess that's okay. We'll just keep it. Actually, there's some roofs at the bottom. So let's go back to Kenny Moyo 952. There are a few little windows here, so let's just, the ones that I can see, let's put a little bit of that color, uh, showstopper color over them. For the bottom part, let's go to that olive green color and add some grassy tone down here. Let's do some cream tone houses. I'm using LA Colors Go Bright. We'll do new color 912, a minty tone. They have, that picture has some various color tones for their houses. And let's do some of that blue gray I used earlier. It's called Teal for Two. Okay, let me look and see if we got it all. Okay, I can see a couple spaces. Need to touch up. Okay, here we go. So this little piece you see here, I'm gonna just push it over with my nail. I'll fix it in just a second. Okay, so we're gonna go back to this plate. Did I use this one yet? I can't remember now. WH-25. We're gonna get this image here. Gonna use Acorn for the pickup. Tapping it because it's got lettering in it. There we go. So if you can't read it, this little piece is on my stamper. It's on the inside, not the outside. It does say Irish Pub, which is what this little building is going to be for. Hey, look, it splattered me again. It's just this one. What's up with this? Okay, so I'm also going to grab just the flag here. And I'm not going to get the pot. Okay, I feel like I can get a better pickup, so I'm going to redo that one. There we go. And I kept just that little part right here at the bottom. I try to clean off as I go and then more comes. Okay, so we're gonna go to this plate, XY-NB09. It was one of the Christmas plates I'd got from Amazon. I want the cobblestone image here. I think I'm just gonna grab half of it. Gonna use Acorn for that pickup as well. Okay, so for the color on top of it, I want to go back to Serene Steel. I'm just gonna use my brush. Since it's a larger area, I sometimes can make that work. I'm kind of tapping it instead of like pulling it, so hopefully I don't remove any of the image underneath. Let's get a pinch more. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to this plate we used earlier, and I want to just get the trees. So I'm going to go back to Emerald City. Had to pause and grab another stamper. I didn't realize they're all taken up right now, or the other ones are. Okay, let me just grab this larger part. And if I get any of the mountain on there, I can just take it off. I'll go ahead and turn it. I'm not gonna fuss too much because if I do, it's all gonna be dry. Okay, come on now, get off of there. All right. Hopefully it'll still stick on. Just gonna put this one back here. Yeah. Oh no, it's not wanting to stick. I should have known better. Okay. Well, at least I got that part. So or I got it to come back off. I'm just gonna add some of that matte top coat and be right back. That's the thing with the regular stamping polish is you don't have time to be fiddle farting. I know that's one of my old timer words. Let's just go with it. But yeah, and because I didn't even mess around that long, and it still was too dry. So once this gets just tacky to the touch, actually, I think that's fine now. Let's get it. Come on now. Oh boy, this ain't good. Okay, so I'll add some more for this piece. Yeah, and that one was just being ornery. It shouldn't have been that big of a deal. But that's just going to be for the background, so it's okay. Okay, so for this one, I'm taking some of my green, that olive green color. Don't worry, it's gonna be okay, friends. We're just gonna go bloop. Okay, just gonna give this a second to kind of set down a minute. Okay. So I think it'll be okay enough for me to lay down the cobblestone road. And the reason I wanted the green is so that once this is placed, you won't see blue on either side of it. You'll see green. And that's why I could just plop it on there. So the little bottom piece, I'm going to try to take off very carefully, or it will pull your image. If you feel your image pulling, just tuck it under. Okay. All right, we're going to take our sign here, our pub sign. I'm taking new color 997 again because I want the sign to have a woodsy look to it. So we're just gonna color it in. Especially want to tap over the wording so it doesn't peel up because they're fine lines. So I'm just doing it this way to try to keep in my line. Otherwise, I'll go over. And just take your time. Don't rush yourself, friends. Okay, that one little spot I can see through, so I'm gonna fix that real quick. Just add a little bit more. You can tap it on to make it a little bit thicker, less see-through. There we go. Oh, I'm so sorry I bumped you. Okay, so for this image, I've taken some of that same green, the olive color, I'm calling it, and that same brown I've used already, so that we can add some ground to this image. Okay, again, just tap around, no rhyme or reason. This is just to make it look like ground versus the sky, or the blue. I don't want the blue in there for this part. And part of this is going to be covered, but I just want it to have that set up before I place it. Otherwise, if I wait, I'm not going to be able to get it the way I need it. Okay, we're going to lay it there, give it a second. Okay, so we're going to apply our little town. So this was the setup for the town background. Okay, just going to use my stamper just to kind of press it down a little bit better. Okay, so the flag is green, so we're going to go Tropic Talks, white, color vibe whiteout, and orange. I'm just going to use Paparazzi's Dandelion Fuzz because it looks like the closest tone. Okay, I'm just going to do the white first, and we are almost done. Okay, now the green. I'm also gonna put some of that green down here and the orange. Okay, and the pole we'll do gray, which is serene still. Okay, so we're gonna try to get the pub scene on here. So the pub itself is coming down by the road. And then I'm gonna put the sign above it, a little bit off to the side so that it looks like it's coming off, you know, like it, as, as if there was like the sign over a pole or something over here. Kind of use this to push down a little bit. So Irish pub. Okay, so I brought that blue water down more. So now I'm taking LA, no, excuse me, Color Vibe Lunar. Let's just add just a little here and I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go, but just to give it kind of a little bit of a water shimmer. So you know how like when you see water like glimmering like that? Okay. Okay, so when I look at the picture, the little town is on a waterway. So there's still some green right there, right below the houses, but let's do that very bottom portion like water. Okay, we're gonna give that a second just to sit. Okay, so for this one, I think it'd be fun. Let's mix those two blues again, and let's put some water underneath the mountain area. I try to be careful to not go up too much. Don't want to take off that line there if I can help it. And I don't want to come down all the way. Okay. Now I'm taking some of that lighter green and darker green to put on this side. Just gonna tap it until I get it the way I want it. Okay, for this one, I'm going back to lunar because this one I need it to look more like water. See it shimmering? So it kind of broke up from having too much green since it's all the green in the background. So I decided to put the water there. For this one, I'm thinking I only want some, not all. So I'm just going to try to slightly touch in some areas. Having to kind of look at it up close to see where it needs it. Okay, let's add our Irish flag here. Oop, lay down. I'm taking a little bit of that my gray, and I'm just gonna add a little bit right here to kind of like have a little bit of like rocks sort of look. All right, and let's go back to this plate. I'm gonna take Emerald City. We're gonna get Irish right here. And by the way, no, I don't, I'm not Irish as far as I know. I just thought this would be a fun nail set for St. Patrick's Day. I would really like to do like one of those tests that tells like what all you got. But at the same time, to be honest, you know what? I'm gonna hold on to this. I want to do something real quick. I'm nervous. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, what are they gonna do with my leftover DNA? They're like gonna be cloning us all. There's gonna be like doubles of us. We're gonna see ourselves in the streets, and then they're gonna come take over our lives, and we're gonna be like, no, I'm the real one. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's add some clouds first. What I'm thinking to do is, so it's not a stark white, let's add some of my white with Go Bright. See how that looks. Using my dotting tool. But I still want to do that on a couple different nails. Get a little bit more white. Oop, or a lot. Hey, I'm looking, deciding. Let me set that one aside and go to the next one real quick. I know you guys probably gonna get so sick of me doing clouds, but it just helps it the image be completed to me. Okay, so let's just repick this one up because I think I get a better pickup than what I had before. Oh, I already have one. Okay. Because if I would have uh, applied the clouds first, it would have covered this up, and it would have been more difficult to work around it to place the clouds. Let's take just this little clover here and add it. Try to get some of that off. Add it above it. 'Cause there's little space we could use. There we go. Okay, friends, we got our whole Irish setup. So I know that was a long video. So we have our heel with the Irish flag, our little Irish saying with the clover. All of them got the clouds added. We have our little Irish town with the little waterway in front of it, and then the greenery in the background. Then we have our mountain and all the greenery and the water. And then we have our cliff with the water scene. And we got our little pub you can drive up to with this little sign that says Irish Pub. So it's all the little things that are for an Irish scenery. And then you can see that sparkle when I move it on the water. So I did all this one and only bits and pieces of this one, and I did all of this one. So if any of you are from Ireland, let me know, please. Does this represent well? Because I try to use those pictures as reference. The only thing is I don't know what happened here, friends. This little building, I've had trouble with this little building every time I've used it. It just goes a little bit wonky, but it's okay. We're just gonna imagine it's straight right there. My apologies. So thank you so very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. I will list all of the Maniology products I used in the description box. And until the next one, have a blessed day, friends. Bye.